Hey there, Eric Gardiner here with EXP Realty, and today we're doing our market update looking at February data of 2026. Thanks for joining me, and let's dive in. This time we also got the screen recording going because that's super valuable and it kind of can show you a lot of the information that I'm looking at when I'm doing this. So right now we're looking at Salt Lake County, and here's the general overview. You can see here that top line new listings, those are actually up. So we had a lot of new listings come live compared to 12 months ago, up 21%. Year to date, we're still up 13%. So more listings have been coming online this year, and even like the ending of last year, just slowly more people have listed over the last couple years, and it's still increasing. Pending sales, we saw this also over the last couple months. Pending sales have gone up, but for some reason, and this is the last couple months, and we'll look at date on this, the closed sales have decreased. So people maybe get something under contract, but then they, get cold feet, something's happening, so they decide to cancel. There have been fewer closed sales, year over year for the last 3 to 5 months than previously. Typically, closed sales are flat or increasing. Especially with this trend, you see the new listings, the pending sales all increase, but closed sales decrease. Next up, days on market, that's up too. So as more stuff sits, I anticipate that to come down as we get into the selling season. But now we're at 70 days median on market here in Salt Lake County. We see the median sales price and average, ticking up just a hair, 1.3% for the median sales price up to $544,000, and then average sales price up to $640,000, up 2.4%. Inventory homes for sale. This is the other thing. We have a lot of inventory on the market, and this has been happening the last 6 months. As more listings come on, but fewer of them sell, whether people take them off the market eventually because they get tired of having it listed in showings, or they're just testing the market. But that inventory of homes for sale has increased, and without them closing and selling and coming off the market that way, our months of supply of inventory has also increased. So to 3.2. That is probably the highest I have seen it in the last, at least since COVID. So since, early 2020, that's the highest I've ever seen it. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. So looking at new listings, typically the market has expanded over the last year. So more listings have been coming live because of that interest rate lockup. I talked about those golden handcuffs when rates were up at 8%. A lot of people that had a 4% or a 3% mortgage, they weren't going to list their house. But as rates have ticked down the last year, we've seen more listings going live and being listed, and you can see that in this data right here. Next up is the pending sales. So pending sales, when it goes under contract or it goes in backup, that's when it's a pending sale. So the most recent month, February, our pending sales increased 20% year over year. And you can kind of see that the last couple months have been pretty high compared to earlier, 12 months ago, 11 months ago, etc. Next up, the closed sales. And this is where the data has been really interesting recently because closed sales have been typically down year over year. So February, they're down 1.4%. So with fewer sales, even with like 10 to 20% extra listings, sales have decreased. January, they were down 3.5%. Surprisingly, December was a good month. November down 8%, but you kind of see, a lot of the times we're kind of flat on that closed sales thing over the last 12 months. Here's the days on market where they've been floating around this last year, but look at that. I imagine, so, we were up to 70 the last 2 months. We're going to dip back down as the hot selling season starts. And I bet you we end up right around there, 45 to 50 days again, come this summer. Here's our median sales price and how it's been tracking. So from 524 up to 544, but you see how it's not a linear movement up. It takes time. Certain months have more sales that are maybe higher priced, etc. So it can definitely vary. So looking at the inventory of homes for sale, this kind of shows, more listings come live, and it's just created this glut compared to previously, So most recent month is February, so that was the 14% increase. But look at last March, last April, we were way high. So that's basically March of 2025 compared to March of 2024. So March of 2024 rates were even higher. So, there was fewer listings because people weren't looking to sell because those golden handcuffs that I've talked about of low interest rates. Slowly unlocking, creating more inventory. Now we just need buyers to get off the sidelines and decide to buy. But what I've been seeing in the market and what I've been also hearing on national news things is that like buyers, they have some uncertainty right now. Obviously, this conflict in Iran recently started, so that's scaring people. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in our political economy, economics, etc. So it's creating a lot of uncertainty, and I think that's why some buyers are just kind of staying on the sidelines trying to figure out what's going on. Another thing to talk about is the K-shaped economy. You know, people have been talking about that for the last 6 to 9 months, how people who are supporting this economy, kind of that wealthier individual, they're still spending, but the lower end consumer, they are feeling, squeezed by inflation. Now they're going to be feeling squeezed by fuel prices as those increase with this conflict in Iran. And so that K-shaped economy, that's creating, that first-time home buyer, they're not going to be buying as much. They're in a rough spot, but the higher end stuff is still moving pretty well. So that's the market update for Salt Lake County. We're sitting right now, March 5th, 2026. This conflict in Iran just barely started like 4 or 5 days ago. We don't know what's going to happen. But what's crazy, and I've seen, some memes about this, is that, there's been a lot of crazy things that have happened the last 15 to 20 years. And the stock market and a lot of the economy is just kind of used to it, I guess. I hate to say that, but you think when a new conflict or something crazy like that happens, that the stock market would take a dump, but it hasn't. Some people are saying that this real estate market's gonna crash. I don't know, people have been saying that for years. I think that's usually clickbait. As I've always said, Utah, we're a pretty insulated, safe market to invest in, to live in. We have a lot of job growth, and I continue to see that happening. So thanks for joining me in this market update. If you have questions or want to talk, schedule a call with me at the link below. Thanks.